There is absolutely no doubt who the best women's basketball team in the Big Ten Conference is after the 2023 Big Ten Tournament Championship on the women's basketball side. An absolutely undeniable performance from the Iowa Hawkeyes, setting a Big Ten tournament record with 105. Yes, you heard me correctly, 105 points in the tournament final. Now, first we're going to start with the Ohio State Buckeyes. No question about it. This was a 25-win team in 2023. This was a great team from start to finish, especially look at that semifinal performance where they came back from over 25 points down to defeat one of the very best teams in all of college women's basketball, the Indiana Hoosiers. So this is a team that is going to possibly make a run, possibly could win a few games in the NCAA tournament. But when we're looking at Ohio State and the result of this tournament, of course, very upset at the result in the tournament championship here against Iowa, but still a productive tournament.
I think when you look at a big picture, we had a good run up here. We beat two really terrific teams and two huge wins. And, when you start to think now, and I don't think a lot about this until we get done with the Big Ten tournament, but when you start to look at seeding, I think this was a very productive tournament for us. We helped ourselves in that regard. And as we all know, it's so important to try to get a top 4 seed.
A huge reason why Iowa played the way they did in this championship game is because of all these seats, all the people that were in these seats. I would say 90-10 crowd split for the Iowa Hawkeyes. There was a little section of Ohio State fans over there, but most of the Target Center, black and gold. This fan base, we know it. If you followed this channel for a very long time, you know Iowa has one of the best fan bases, maybe in the entire country, especially in the Big Ten Conference. They had a huge impact. Every time Iowa went on a run, this crowd was absolutely electric at the Target Center. And I think there's no getting around it. You know who else was absolutely electric? You know who else has been absolutely electric for 1.5, 2 years? It's been Caitlin Clark. Now, everybody's going to talk about her outside shot. Everybody's going to talk about her ability to create off the bounce, her ability to score. But the one thing that I saw in the quarterfinals, the one thing that I saw in the semifinals, the one thing that I saw in this championship game is her ability to pass the basketball. She leads the country in assists per game, 8.1 assists per game, and man, just every single one of her passes was on the mark. Monica Cesano was the beneficiary of a lot of those great passes. A triple-double for Caitlin Clark, just the third triple-double in Big Ten tournament history. Caitlin Clark was fantastic, just distributing the basketball. Of course, she got over 30 points in this game. Of course, scoring is going to be something that everybody looks at when they look at Caitlin Clark, but Iowa can make a run in this tournament because of her ability to distribute the basketball. No question about that for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, speaking of questions, there still may be a question, and that question is, does Iowa deserve a number 1 seed? Latest bracketology had them as a number 2 seed. The coaches, the players, they think they could be a number 1 seed.
I think this does, earn us a 1 seed, but at the same time, I don't know how much difference there is in a 1 seed, the 4th 1 seed and the top 2 seed. You're technically in the same region, but, we beat 2 1 seeds in the past 2 weeks. I don't know how that wouldn't earn you a 1 seed, but I'm not the one that makes those decisions. So, all we could do was, control the game right in front of us, and that's what Coach Bluter has talked about every single day. Is like when we first got here, our focus was Purdue. The next day was Maryland. It wasn't about, where we were on the seeding line, but, it's something you are aware of.
Do I think we deserve it? I do. I mean, we just survived one of the hardest conference tournaments in the country. We beat 2 teams that were predicted to be a 1 seed in the last 7 days, the last 8 days. I don't know what else you can do to get this. So, in my opinion, we deserve it.
What this Big Ten tournament, I think, proved to me and proved to a lot of other people around the landscape of women's college basketball, these Big Ten teams, especially those 4 at the top, especially Iowa, Indiana, Maryland, and Ohio State, those are teams that can make Final Four run despite what happened here on the floor with the Ohio State Buckeyes. I know Indiana is going to be a great team. I know Indiana's got a lot of depth. Of course, we saw what we saw from the Iowa Hawkeyes. These are all teams that can make deep runs in the NCAA tournament. If you haven't already, subscribe to Big Ten Ted. We're going to have all kinds of March Madness coverage all the way through April, and hopefully more through April as some of our men's and women's teams make Final Fours. Until then, I'm Big Ten Ted, and of course, we will see you in the next one.